Hi everyone, welcome to this reading. So I have my bowl of water off to the side. I will be scrying throughout this message. If you're new to my channel, my readings are a little different. If you're returning, welcome back. You know how we do if it doesn't resonate with you. If you're forcing the story to fit, arguing with it in any way, just leave it behind for the people who it's meant for. So if you happen to see anything inside the bowl of water, feel free to leave it down in the comments. You never know when your insights might help somebody. And let's begin. Taking a step aside. And allowing spirit to pass through me. Opening up to receive information. Okay. So I'm getting this feeling of like something else coming in. It's like an energy that has not come in the way I normally would feel it. It's like sidestepping around. It's like it has to go around something in order to connect in. I feel that this message is going to be for those of you who have recently had an encounter with either like deity or spirit, or some of you may be experiencing them as like interdimensionals. But it feels a little bit like some kind of oath or partnership that is meant to accomplish this overcoming of some sort of obstacle. Okay, so there's been some sort of obstacle, something that has been blocking us in some way. I'm hearing holding pattern. So there may have been a hold that we were placed in so that we could learn the certain tools that would be necessary in this partnership to overcome this obstacle. This obstacle is so important that something has come in because this obstacle feels a little bit like it's a barrier that has been created over time, like a mountain, that is preventing us from passing through it. It doesn't necessarily feel that for everyone this is something that's been placed on you or anything like that. It just feels like something that's been built up over time. For some of you, this is like a lot of belief structures that have built this up over time. For others of you, it's just, you know, the way we train our neural pathways to behave for our particular behaviors. And for others of you, it has to do with perception. It's the way that we've perceived the universe. It's requiring some additional help in order for us to overcome the obstacle that's presenting within our 3D. I'm seeing almost like this gold leaf on the mountain. It's like everything that shimmers isn't necessarily gold. There's this feeling of something being encapsulated within this, oh, it's just how it is, and it's one of the rules of things, and it's, you know, it's almost like accepted into our internal doctrine of systems. And this additional help, it feels very protective in some way. It's almost like I'll cover the back, you go out the front. So it's like it's preventing certain energies from the past to follow us. And a small side note on that, the feeling that I'm kind of getting for someone is if you've been trying to get some situation to restart or some person to contact you, there's a reason why it hasn't. And it's time to leave it, okay? It's time to just leave it alone, because whatever this entity or this being is that someone has recently partnered with or come into contact with, it's almost like I'm making sure that this can't follow. So there's an untangling process that's also happening. I'm almost seeing it like a forest at the base of the mountain, this holding pattern. Part of that holding pattern is to entwine things so that they get extricated from your energy. So this is really about simplification. Whoever this message is for, there's been an entire process of simplification inside of your life, a quieting down. For some of you in the simplification, you're actually getting louder because you're learning what your volume is. You're learning what your resonance is. You're learning what your frequency is. You're learning what it is that you want to say and what you want to do, and you're letting that become louder. This sort of partnership energy, it feels... I don't want to say divinely timed. I don't want to say divinely guided. It feels divinely instructed. I don't know what that means, but that's how it's striking me as I'm sitting in this energy. And whatever this boundary or this border or this mountain energy that I'm getting here is representing, it feels like it's preventing us from becoming who it is that we have chosen to be this time around, or it's preventing us from doing what it is that we originally set out to do. Hey. No, I just said hey because one of my little puppies, she reached up, managed to grab this leaf of a house plant. I'm gonna have to put that someplace higher. Started trying to chew on it. She didn't actually chew it off. She was just kind of like putting it in her mouth. It is kind of scratchy, so maybe she likes the feeling. Pretty sure she's not supposed to munch on that one. So maybe we have a tendency to go in directions that are not good for us, or we may have a tendency to get into our feels and want to call things back into our life that aren't necessarily the best for us. Whatever this spirit is or this being is, it's almost like that's the purpose that they're serving for right now, is to get us far enough away from that energy so that eventually we can see how destructive it actually was. This could look like anything. This could be that person that you keep wishing would come back in. This could be that job that you keep thinking you should go back to. It could be the thing that you keep settling for. It could be the food that you keep eating, right? So this could be all sorts of things for whoever this message is for, but it feels almost like as this partnership has established, there's something that's gone by the wayside, and that's because it's supposed to. Okay. Okay, we have 8 of Wands, so there's a lot of movement taking place. And I don't feel that for everybody, it's like I don't really know exactly which direction I'm moving maybe for like a few of you, it feels that way. For others of you, it's like I know which direction I'm moving, and I know that there's a little bit of hard work involved. It does feel like there's some sort of hard work in order to scale and climb this mountain. I'm seeing like it's reminding me of a card from this deck. Let me see if I can find it. I'm seeing fire on the mountain. And so this fire is an important element, especially with that 8 of Wands first showing up. It feels like the fire is regaining motivation for something, regaining some sort of passion for something, but also passing through the fire of some sort of obstacle. It's almost like knowing that it's going to transform you in some way and that there is no coming back from it, okay? See. And I don't feel that the path through this is straight necessarily. It feels a little crooked, like there may be some twists and turns in the path that we're taking, and I don't feel that the spirit is really trying to lead the person. I feel more like it's a partnership of protection, and in reality, while we may be perceiving it as protecting us from outside things, remember the outside things have to have an anchor point within us. So really this feels like protecting us from ourselves in some way. Again, going back to I don't know if you heard that, going back to the puppy that's munching on strange leaves. Let's see. There might be a great deal of excitement too in the interactions with this spirit as this spirit comes in. I do feel that there's a lot of knowledge and wisdom that's being handed down by this being, almost like they have a knowledge keeper energy, and that's just because there's such an old vibe to this that there's this natural imparting of information and wisdom that's happening in this partnership. I do feel that there is, for some of you, a little bit of recollecting parts of self from people in the past, especially other practitioners. So I normally don't get messages like that, but I have to give it because that is what I'm feeling. For some of you, it's like a reclaiming of aspects of self that have been bound or harmed in some way by other practitioners. Am I not going to find this card? Is that what's going to happen now? Okay, well, 3 more, and then I'm going to trust that I'm not supposed to find it. So, okay. Oh, that is an energy that we have left behind. So let me grab this. Oh, perfect, perfect. So, hello, how cute. You're being cute. When they fall on the floor here recently, I've been told that these are energies that are kind of like going by the wayside. And what we have here is the 2 of Swords. So we are moving now. We've left behind some sort of block. Notice how similarly they're dressed. So it's like before we were actually holding our own swords. We were the ones blocking ourselves from something. We can do that when we have blind spots where we're not necessarily realizing what would be healthy for us and what the appropriate direction is. We tend to gravitate over and over towards things that just keep us in a cycle. Someone has effectively then within the last year broken a very significant cycle for themselves. And this is one of the reasons why they're able to move forward. The prevalence of that cycle and the continuation of that cycle for so long is part of what's built up this like mountain energy. So this is why it's not something that's going to be quite easily overcome, but you have help now. You have help in doing so, and that help is being represented here by the King of Swords. So definitely spirit energy whenever we have the sword suit, because this is air. Okay. For some of you, this obstacle really has to do with feelings of loss, betrayal, abandonment, rejection, being left out in the cold, of everyone else deserving except for me, things like that. So this is what this obstacle seems to be built on. And this is what this King of Swords has come to kind of protect you from falling back into the cycles that kept you trapped in this feeling. Whoever this message is for, it's almost like we got our warrior energy on. Like, and I don't mean have our sword out. Those are two completely different things. So this is like where someone, you know, it's like I'm not going to be afraid of this, and I'm okay for the challenge. I don't mind the hard work. So if you're somebody who's minding the hard work, or that there's going to be hard work, then this is not your reading, okay? Because that's not the energy I'm feeling here. Whoever's message this is, it's like, I finally got past this block. Now we're going to tackle this. Like, there's a lot of motivation here, and I almost feel that this spirit or this energy that we're connecting in with, it's part of that source of that inspiration. It's bringing a lot of fire energy with it. And this is what we're tackling, is something that's been built up due to rejection, loss, abandonment, being left out in the cold. For some people, this is just a lack, a general sense of lack. It's like this feeling of I'm going to do better. I'm going to be better. I'm going to do better. And that's not to say that there's anything wrong with you. It's just that it's where you are, and whatever it is that you're leaving behind, it's not what you want. So you're choosing to do better. And I'm seeing you almost as the reflection of this energy that's come in. So I would pay attention to the story. If, like, for example, it's a deity that you're working with, really go back through that deity's story and see how certain things are actually reflecting parts of your own story. Maybe you are filling your energy life with these other energies, so like spirits or deities, because you're trying to incorporate the energy that they embody within their story. So it could go either way for some of you. But I'm seeing the person who this message is for, it's like we're the reflection of this other energy now. And this is what is helping us to overcome this. So I do feel that the color red is very important for whoever this message is for. So this is probably within the root related matters. So our deeply connected relationships, our work, our home, our finances, for some of you, maybe even our childhood might be involved in this. Ooh, yes, yes. Okay, Nine of Pentacles. So Nine of Pentacles is really like that self-made man or woman. This is the exact opposite of the lack energy. So I think this is what someone is tackling right now. As we come into this sort of reflective state where we're incorporating and adopting the energy of this particular spirit or deity, or the lessons that they've come to show us anyway, the information they've come to share, we find ourselves really filling our own lack energy. And this is one of the reasons why the spirit is keeping the tail, basically looking back, ensuring that the past doesn't follow and we don't fall back into these cycles, because like I said, we just need a little bit of distance between the past and now and ourselves, so that we can start to assess things and we can start filling that lack for ourselves rather than operating out of the lack. Okay, I'm being told to come over here. There we go. So for some of you, this energy was actually the very core of your resonance. We may have attracted a lot of situations that put us back into lack. We may have attracted a lot of people that would keep taking from us so that we always stayed in lack. We may have attracted a lot of people that had their own lack stories. And so this is all about changing the resonance. We're changing the potential of what it is that we actually house inside. And it's never that that potential is this, it's that the fields that surround it are lenses filtered by this. So we're changing the filters that surround that seed. This is changing the quality of our resonance. And I almost feel that with this particular spirit, let's see here. Yeah, lots of fire, again, fire. And the reason why it's showing up in this fiery energy is it's illuminating the path. Even though it's almost like behind you, making sure things don't get in your way, even by doing this, what it's doing is it's illuminating something for you. Again, that information that's transforming you is coming in. Okay, one last card. Here we go. This is all about remothering of the self. Notice how the seed and this little pearl are deep in there. For some of you, you may notice that this lack energy starts here. It starts within your relationship to your mother or within the maternal line. And this is something that was always meant to be the thing that you overcome. See how it's being guarded by that snake? And while that snake is guarding it so that that pearl can't come out, so that no one can touch that pearl, it's also a symbol of intertwining and interconnection. Look at how it's braided. It's actually a braided snake. And the snake sheds its skin, right? So shedding the layers. So the snake is like a keeper of the mysteries in this sense. It's almost like in order to get the skills that we need, in order to get to where we need to go, we had to have this obstacle. We had to have this energy. Without this energy, we were never going to get there. Oftentimes our greatest help comes in the thing that we think is hindering us the most. Our greatest teacher comes in the form of our worst enemy. And that's what I'm seeing here, that our resonance and the fields around it, these lenses, that lens and early experiences are really who and what are actually causing us to become the very thing that we set out to be, or to do the very thing that we set out to do. It's like without those things, without those experiences, that wouldn't be there. It would be something completely different. So that's kind of the paradox that enters into our life path and our spiritual calling. Okay, I'm gonna leave this here. So whoever's message this is, I wish you the best of luck. And if this resonates with you, please hit that like button. Feel free to leave me a comment, and until next time.